Hello. Oh, well, that was several levels of gash. My internet stopped working, which is weird. It's not that weird. It does occasionally do that, I suppose. Maybe it might do that again. There is a storm outside my house. Can people hear me again? Can you hear me? See me? Boop, 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 boop. We were talking about the basically players being rammed by ships and the ships exploding, and that was because they had to change the massive smaller things so that Aegises didn't explode when things hit them. That was the idea. Refresh. Yeah, indeed. F5. Good, I'm good. Let's get back a little tiny bit.
At that point, I got up to speed, and sure enough, Starfarer exploded.
So this is obviously
Crucian, oh, you star. Crucian, great streamer, Star Citizens, and some other games as well. Check him out.
Issues. Like initially, it started with why is the ship blowing up, which was there was some code added for the Gamescom demo because small ships would like fly into the Idris and the Idris would just immediately blow up. So some code was added to like figure out the mass difference between the Idris and the ship, or like the two ships.
I haven't finished yet. Then I'll host someone.
And it had the knock-on effect of working incorrectly when you're flying a person into the ship, because there's obviously this huge mass difference between the ship and the person, and it worked backwards because it wasn't intended to work in this situation, and it added like huge amounts of damage to the ship and destroyed the ship. Getting hit and the damage was being applied, but he was still standing there like nothing happened. And when you like ask the game, hey, what's the health of the player? It'd be like 0, and the player's just still standing there like walking around like nothing's wrong. So you need to actually manually trigger a death, which was another step that had to be done.
So manual triggering for deaths.
Eventually, a person in first-person view, and the ship like flies at you, and bit of a pause, but the player is killed, blood on the screen, everything's good, and the ship hasn't blown up, which is what you want.
A few of these that I look at them are related to like the way Eric was describing the bugs. You pull on one thread, it actually trickles and like solves a bunch of Jira tickets. Like Prospector not taking damage on the engines. It's the UV2 overlay issue that I keep trying to push up to a higher level. So I still need to talk to engineers.
So UV2s are specific textures and lightings stuff.
Today during our door sprint to say these are 2 must-haves that I need to accomplish 3.0. The rest is like, you know, nice icing on the cake 3.0 stuff, but these are like my must-haves.
Still just going through the ships at the moment. As I say, things keep going differently wrong with them. Like audio will be gone one day, back another. We're currently doing a massive task, which is all the UV2 wall maps and the damages on them. About a third of the ships, maybe a quarter of the ships, be just not to have it set up at all.
So another important 3.0 feature that we've been focusing on this time is the disconnection recovery logic. So what this means is
this is really cool. This is graceful and ungraceful disconnects
versus ungraceful disconnects. A graceful disconnection is you know, anytime you bring up, you know, the main menu in the game and you explicitly choose to log out, that's a graceful disconnect.
Thanks.
But an ungraceful disconnect could be any situation where you lose connection to your ISP, or, you know, perhaps the client crashed and you're trying to get back into the game. So if the backend detects that an ungraceful disconnection occurred, then we save you know, player metadata, as well as create some reservation tokens, you know, for individual game servers for your spot, so that, you know, when you log back in, you'll immediately be presented with a pop-up dialog that says, hey, do you want to reconnect to the game server that you're last connected to?
So that's really cool. So if you ungracefully disconnect, so if you lose connection, if you crash or whatever, you'll be able to get it back into your game and instance and everything much quicker. It's just like, oh, reconnect, bam, like you could in Overwatch or whatever.
And so if you accept, then the matchmaker will immediately put you in that instance. And at that point, you know, the network objects between the server and the client should auto sync up. And the goal is to get you to spawn in exactly the same location in the universe that you were at the point of the disconnection.
I want to go to every...
This is the most important part of anything that's been talked about in the last few months.
The first thing I want to make sure we can do is traverse the system easily and well, and that's all this set of bugs is about, is from getting in, taking off, ATC working, QTing working, being able to go to locations, all that kind of stuff. We can just get that working, and so it's not a night, I'm not going in and out of maps all the time trying to work whether I can jump to places and so forth. We can do that kind of stuff. Then we have what I think actually is a really good start for Evocati, because it's a lot of fun. It's fun.
Evocati.
And then once we get this set of 26 bugs left, and don't forget, these are the 26 bugs I want fixed to go to Evocati with, but I'm sure we'll fix a bunch of other stuff, at the same time and stuff like that. And then we basically go and get that in, and then once we get that set of bugs, those set of bugs fixed, then what I want to do then is sit down again with Todd and then say, right, what's the next feature we want to focus on? And we'll pick another, say, 10, 20, like a feature, let's say, let's get trading working properly, and then maybe 10 or 15 features, and we say, right, here's the 17 bugs for that. That's the next release for Evocati. Let's get all this stuff worked on, and then we fix all the stuff in the background. We just basically pick a feature at a time, nail it down, and just keep on going that way, and that's how we're going to close this out.
So that was the most important thing that's been talked about in fucking months. Okay, so basically they are refocusing the way they do the 3.0 Evocati stuff. So Evocati are going to get the 3.0 build sooner. They're going to be focusing, finishing off the last of the traversal bugs, and then that will go to an Evocati build. There's still going to be bugs to fix with trade or with other things as well. They're going to group them and get them fixed for the next build for Evocati. Bam! And obviously fix the Evocati bugs that the Evocati finds as well that are critical. It's going to get to the Evocati much quicker. It's going to be more efficient. It just makes so much more sense. And I'm glad they're doing it like this, because it's basically what we've been asking for fucking ages. For them to do, push them to Evocati sooner, focus on certain bug sets. Not everything is must-have bug fixes, clearly. Otherwise they wouldn't have to push it to an Evocati build anyway. So they are a junior company when it comes to certain things. And this sort of stuff is great because it shows that they are listening and they are going to push for certain things. And I am happy because now we can get 3.0 sooner, and then we can all get it sooner. And yeah, Erin is a very positive force when it comes to scheduling and keeping people in line. So yeah, but this is also good what he's about to say.
So as we talked about last week, we've tightened the focus of our first test plan for the Evocati, which will be traversing and experiencing the expanse of the new universe and all that entails. Then, while we're getting larger test support, we'll continue to polish and bug fix more features, push them out for more testing, and so on and so forth until release. Now, at the time of filming this, we've reduced our total must-fix issues by 50, some by fixing bugs, and some shifted over to allow for a more focused polish of traversal. And like Aaron said, this brings us to 26 issues, stopping this first release to the Evocati group. So come back next week to continue getting an in-depth look at the road to Star Citizen Alpha 3.0 release here on Burndown.
So that was the main thing I wanted to show. So we're going to have more focused Evocati builds as well. So it's going to be Evocati are needed to test this because it's the traversal build. That's a great idea as well. We're looking for stuff to make sure we can fix that, and then they can go, oh, now we're looking for bugs in general, but also for trade. Focus on trade this time. Fucking great. Thank you. Thank you, CIG. Thank you for listening. And hopefully we can all get a game quicker. But yeah, I think that's massive positive things. So I'll go over the news very quickly again. I was talking about that $45,000 refund that you might have heard about was faked. It was $330. Some people are just trolls. There doesn't need to be a reason for them to be trolls. Some of them are just trolls. Star Citizen does get targeted by people specifically trying to undermine Star Citizen Project. Some of them because they're trolls. Some of them because they're possibly trying to further their own careers in some way. Some that just because it's journalists trying to report on news. Some of which are probably quite innocent. And others are just like, ha 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 ha. Some of them are probably pricks. But we don't know. But yeah, that was faked. Nothing more major than that. What else? Spectrum 0.3.6 has come out, which is made it slightly more like Reddit. Eventually we will have VoIP and FOIP and loads of stuff going through Spectrum, and it will be a one-stop shop for communication platform. 26 left, bugs, boom. Absolutely win. We'll find out some more later on tonight about exactly what bugs have been fixed and that sort of jazz, and this will get an updated end of year PU timeline, as well as an updated schedule report, which is all cool. But that's pretty much it. That's that graph down. Win. This was cool as well. This EMP device. But yeah, has anyone got any questions? Does this mean the patcher will still release with 3.0? The patcher is planned. The Delta patcher is planned to be released with 3.0 live. I'm not sure if the Evocati are getting 3.0s. Are getting the Delta patcher. I assume they would. We'll have to wait and see. I don't know. But the Delta patcher is coming out with 3.0. Staying positive's fine, but optimistically cautious is great when it comes to projects of this size. The main issue that we have with Star Citizen is hype and scheduling. I don't help with hype because I'm a very bipolar person. Thank you very much. Oh, you fucking legend. Thank you very much, Seb1970. You're a legend. Appreciate the money. It's at $400, but as I said earlier, there's probably another $80 in that from the YouTubes. I haven't accounted for, so sorry about that. But thank you very much for getting that up to 400. You're a star. Mwah. Very much appreciated. What else was I saying? I've totally lost my sense of train of thought. We might get, realistically, Evocati between 2 to 4 weeks Evocati build. That's what I'm expecting. Possibly closer to 2 weeks now. 2-3 weeks, because only 26 months to fix issues left, which is great. Bored, or anyone else, there are 44 Amazon Web Services zones available, 9 in Africa. What does that mean if you are a Star Citizen fanboy in South Africa? I'll ask, actually. I will find out what pings are like for people in Africa for Star Citizen. That's a good point. They need Amazon have great coverage, and probably were the best choice for servers if they weren't doing them themselves, as it were. They didn't want to have a home solution. But I don't know. I don't know what the pings would be like. Better than the Australians are getting at the moment, I think. Or Australians getting okay pings now. I don't bloody know. I mean, yeah, so potentially as well, they could find and uncover a load more bugs for the traversal aspects. But because they're focusing on traversal, even if it uncovers other bugs for other systems, that still probably won't stop the release of the Evocati build now, unless it's a particular traversal bug. Because basically everyone wants, like, look, let's get the Evocati in, let's get them able to play the game, and let's get them to be able to have fun, so they can, you know, actually start helping. But yeah, any other questions? Yep, there was like 97 must fix or 96 must fix bugs, now 26. But they have moved some of those into another sort of like, we'll get these done after the first Evocati build. Actually, they'll probably fix a load of them anyway, but yeah, I thought the latest burn down was great. I like the fact they're refocusing to give the Evocati a more focused role and to get that build out much quicker. 26 bugs left. That's great. Yes, I believe that the plan is to start working on the Merchantman. Actually, no, I don't know. I don't know when they're planning to start work on the Merchantman. Yes, I do. October. Planning to start in October. That is the plan. Would you consider in the build of your life that you love for me were a bug or feature? It's a must-fix bug, Kerpel. Before I can continue with my life. Yes, they're going to continue to add, well, not add features. They're going to continue to fix bugs and focus on some of those features with the bug fixing before they move it into the wider PTU test. Maybe your comment section will take a turn for positivity for once. Comment section's pretty good. Get some like bullshit in there. You get some people being angry about stuff, and I think that's fine. People are allowed to vent their opinions. As long as it's not spam or trolling, people just being absolute cockbags, I'm good with it. Right. Is there any other major questions? Because I I'm going to go eat in a second. And I'm going to finish setting up my VR headset for having all the wires around the room. I've got a third sensor as well now. And then I think me and DC are going to be playing some games tonight. I enjoy playing Star Citizen quite a lot, although recently there's been nothing for me to effectively play. Played everything to death, so I haven't been playing much. I still play a bit. I love the project, I love the community, there's billions of things I like, while there isn't actually much gameplay to be done. I enjoy help effectively developing the game, and the fact that everyone can have an influence on it. And I'm very much looking forward to, realistically, what's going on in the future, but also the dreams of what it could potentially have in the future, and which both I keep tempered with each other. Like a realistic expectation, and then my dream expectation, and then my crappy expectation. For cargo, for 3.0 cargo, will we be able to manipulate smaller pieces of cargo? So there's going to be one major type of cargo box, which is based for cargo that you've bought from consoles. So I go up to a console, buy a load of cargo. I go somewhere else, I sell that cargo. That's going to be one type of box, the 3.0. There's also going to be boxes that we literally pick up, can manipulate and put down. That's also going to take cargo space. So are vehicles that you store in your cargo hold. But you're not going to be able to manipulate the cargo that you've bought from consoles in the same way. Kiosks, I think they're actually called. The Freelancer... apparently, they started it a few days ago. Last month, potentially. Potentially, the Freelancer started last month, and it will potentially be done by the end of this year. Which is pretty cool. With quantum travel, are they considering two types, one for system, one for planetary? I think so. For 3.0, they talked about that shorter quantum travel that they trimmed for getting going from like approximate objects, so from a moon to a orbiting station, or from a moon to another part of that same moon. So it's not two different systems, but it's going to be done quicker. So it'll be like a 6 to 10 second procedure to just go from surface to station in orbit or whatever. I'm good friends with Nubify. He's a very, very, very good man who's looked after me and helped me when I was very depressed. I cried at him and his wife at one point when I was really, really down, and they listened and they were great. He's a good chap. Good chap, Noob. I'm glad to have met him. Yeah, Invis. I've poked CIG with it. That sort of stuff, and unless I 100% know exactly what's going on, I can't get involved myself because, you know, there are trolls out there. I don't know the whole situation. But I have poked CIG myself about it. I'll take wages on the game changer. I am going to buy so many spaceships.
Keep up the good work.
Thank you very much, Lost Connection. Very much appreciated. Thank you. I'm very lucky to have the community that I do. And I do love the Star Citizen community. I do think it's one of the best gaming communities that I've ever seen. It's actually the best gaming community I've ever seen. It's not a physical gaming community. So, like, I've had some very good experiences with LANs and stuff. But this is such a large community, and I know it gets, like, occasionally, because it's part of that FUD campaign, part of the bullshit that I talked about earlier, it gets a bad name because people go, haha, they're really toxic, because this one guy that might not even be part of the community said that I should kill myself. Like, that's not an appropriate thing to say, but probably not a part of the community. And you're always going to get people edge cases in every situation. The Redeemer, not a priority at the moment for CIG. It will get reworked, but not at the moment. I love you guys. I'm going to start to look for someone else to host a stream. Then I need to make sure that video has gone out. But feel free to ask questions because I'll have a look quick before I actually send you off to that video has gone out. It's me talking about me. Oh, fucking Gray's online. Absolute twin. We'll go host Grey-Headed Gamer in a second because I love his face.
Also wanted the.
What's he doing? Doing something. I'm calling. Yes, I'm calling my entire community fat. That's right, Curveball. That's. Tricksy little hobbits. Thank you very much.
Oi, in under the wire.
Tricksy little thrace. You tricksy little person who's got the sub in. So we'll have a nice evening. I'm hoping actually that they do have the ability for us to make our own mobiGlas apps and mods, because the casino in Eve was very successful. So that sort of stuff might be cool. I'm very much looking forward to modding and API stuff and stuff that we can get in the game ourselves. Noobify and Super Mario Brothers are some of my favourite YouTubers. That's why I work with them. As is Tricksy little hobbits. Thank you very much, Director Gunner. Fucking win. Subs. You're the fucking best. Looking at a picture of Graded Gamer when I'm trying to answer questions. Oh no, don't worry about my mental health issues. Like, yeah, so I suffer from bipolar disorder. Think of me as an erratic depressive that normally has the high end of mania. Like, I'm normally pretty happy, but sometimes I get super down. But I'm aware of it, and I know how to manage myself, and I always know that I'm going to get better. Some people are a million times worse than me. More recently, over the last couple of years, I've been had severe anxiety, which has been awful. Like, people knocking at the door, phone calls, certain things, just loud sounds, tings of glass, will make me, like, almost freeze, and I needed to be medicated for that because it was so fucking shitty. It was basically PTSD of a type they basically thought I had. And that's been lame, but I'm a billion times better. I'm not medicated at the moment. I needed help from friends, I needed help from doctors, and I've got really good. And yeah, some people are really fucking bad with it. So I'm very lucky to have the community that I do, and I'm very lucky to have the friends that I do, and like people like Noobifire and Twerk and even Saurus, and they were really helpful and looked after me. So I appreciate everyone that's worked with me and have like stayed with me. And my videos have been a bit erratic, but I'm attempting to aspirationally improve them all the time now. At the end, they'll almost certainly sell the 600i again. Oh yeah, they do need to do a new QA for the 600i, because they need to talk about what its role is going to be, what some of the missions it can do, because people got a bit annoyed. And so Noobify was a very good driving force for this, and we talked about it, and he was like, should I talk about this? And he was like, fuck yeah. Because he's very critical of the 600i, just saying, this is why would anyone buy this? This is absolute shit. This is not appropriate. We need proper gameplay. We want that VIP mechanic. We need it to have some form of role that's not just, it's a Constellation Aquila, but worse and more expensive, because it's prettier. I've got an organisation that I'm going to be helping to manage called No Man Black, which I will talk about once 3.0 comes out. But I'm also part of Tricksy Little Hobbits. Thank you very much, Slick Reed, fucking legend. I'm also part of some of the larger lawful, neutral, and lawful good organisations as well, because I'm going to be doing lots of stuff in the economy. So the way I plan to make money in Star Citizen, with in-game money anyway, is industry, economy stuff, working together with other people, some security work, protecting similar kind of operations, and I want to see what the news mechanics are going to be like in-game. If I can stream from in-game, if I can make UBC that way, if I can use the Mako and the Reddit texture and the secondary viewport tech to do some cool stuff, then I'll do that as well. So I'm hoping that there'll be services that orgs will go, yeah, Board will give you 1 million UEC if you can run this kind of campaign. I'll go, fucking win! Make money in-game and out of game for playing Star Citizen. That'll be an absolute win. Thank you for all the kind words. Skull Butt says the Origin X1 sale and the Q&A will also have a 600i sale and Q&A. Not confirmed rumours. Cool. That makes sense though, doesn't it? In a couple of weeks they do the X1 sale, they'll sell the 600i again, and then they'll correct the Q&A or add to it some more intention of the 600i ship, possibly sell it with lifetime insurance again. That would be a very good plan for them, because they can make a load more money. And also make the community happier at the same time. You should try low-fat diets. Low-fat whole food. I've tried lots of different things. I'm a lot better with I'm managing my depression and stuff now. But yeah, so I've heard that change your diet specifically for whole foods and low fat can help your neurotransmitters and stuff and serotonin. So I will try things in the future. I'm actually on a diet at the moment. I got quite tubby when I was depressed. What ship would you use to secure my awesomeness? Don't know. The ship? Whatever comes along. An Aurora. You can be sleeping in the Aurora bed and we can just send you off into space, Kerbal. Yeah? Good job. I think I'm in the corporation. Any idea when the release of Item 2.0? Any idea with the release of Item 2.0, it will affect ship balance? Yes. In the persistent universe, it's going to be much more about proper choices of your equipment and weapons and ships and stuff, what you actually use them for and what you do, and you making sure that you're repaired and making sure that you've got your equipment, ammo and stuff on. In Arena Commander, it's just going to affect ship balance in general, so there'll be different numbers. We have to actually get it into our hands to see exactly how it's going to affect ship balance, but it will be affected. Meat only diet. Oh my god, I fucking wish, mate. I wish. See, I could live as a vegan, I could live as a vegetarian, and I could live just with meat. And the issue is that I love food and I want to eat all the food. So I'll eat any food group available to me. An equilibrium diet is probably the best. I don't know. Yeah, probably. But the problem is I eat lots. I love food. You ask the burning questions that people want to know. Right. Thank you very much, guys. We're going to go watch BoredGamer. If you've got questions about anything, drop them in the comments below. Message me at rich@boredgamer.co.uk. You can get through straight to me and ask me questions. I'm all good with that. Yeah. Love you guys. Thank you very much. Peace out. Check the Reddit. Links in the description or links below now for information regularly, for some giveaways, and to keep track of the news. Same with the Discord. If you want to play some games, if you want to chat, come into the Discord, the BoredGamer one or the redacted one. Say hello, and we'll play games, whether it be Destiny 2, whatever. If anyone's got doesn't want their Destiny 2 ring pulls from the Rockstar giveaway for their cans, I'll happily have them off you as well. Like I've given up caffeine, so I can't drink energy drinks, and I really want to get into the Destiny 2 stuff. But anyway, thank you very much. I love you guys. Peace out. Let's go host Gray. Make sure he's actually still
roll into cover. What?
Roll into cover.
I guess where there's